it's Michelle here again from the Almost Anything and Everything YouTube channel. Now, before we begin, I like to let you know that I am not an expert in what I'm about to show you. This is simply what I do for me, okay? I am a mature age woman and I believe in the KIS system, which is keep it simple. As we age, our skin changes and we don't need as much product on our face as we used to. Now, I have a very simple care routine for my face. I don't buy anything special, but it works for me. You do what works for you. So today I'm going to show you how I put on my makeup. First of all, excuse me for a minute, I always have, what did I do with it? I always have a wet Q-tip. Always wet both ends, and that helps fix up any mistakes that you may make when you're putting on your eye makeup or your mascara. Wet both ends. 2, always have tissues handy. Always have tissues handy when you're putting on makeup. Okay. Now, first of all, I'm going to prep my skin. I'm just going to take off my glasses and I'm going to prep my skin. I don't see very well without my glasses, so I apologise. I put a bit of product on the back of my hand like that. And then I just put it on my face. And I'm just prepping my skin ready for my makeup. That's all. It's always good to prep your skin before you put your makeup on. I'm not sure exactly what it does. I just put it on because everybody else does. So I just follow the flow of things. I just put it on. If you hear a noise or some barking, that's my dog. He's in the room with me at the moment. And he's a cheeky little fella. And if I get time, I'll introduce him to you later. So that's prepping my skin. I hope you can see me properly. I'm filming from my iPad, so it's really hard to get the right position for this, but I am trying. Okay, I think that's a bit better. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, done that. Now I'm just going to put my glasses back on because, as I said, I can't see very well without my glasses. Okay, please excuse the background. It's just a wardrobe. I'm up in the front spare room. Okay, next I'll get my product. Now, I use a blend of, these are anything in particular. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I use a blend of natural ivory and a medium. Okay, this works for me. So I just blend it, put a little bit on my hand like that. Maybe a little bit more. This is what works for me. You do what works for you. Look, I'm going to put a little bit more of this on here. This is the medium, and I just put a bit on there. Now, I'm not going to be on here, and I'm not going to tell you, stories about things that happen to people about, drama and stuff like that, and murder and intrigue, and I'm just going to present a tutorial to you. Okay. I am putting this on my skin, and I will blend it in a minute. Just blend that up there. This is what works for me. Now, as an older lady, I never put any product under my eye. Why? Because that will age me even further. Okay? And let's face it, as you get older, you don't want to look older than what you can. Now I'll just wipe off the excess product off my hands. Now I'll get my beauty blender and I'll just blend all of that in. As I said, I can't really see what I'm doing here. I'm just going by what I can see on my camera here and just doing the best I possibly can. As I said, I can't see very well without my glasses, so I'll have a look in a minute and see how I'm going. As I said, I use the KIS method, and this works for me. I always like to blend a little bit of product from my face down into my chin, and just blend it in a little bit so you get that nice uneven line, so it looks nice. Now, that is me blending my product. I might put a little bit on my eyes, but not a lot. Just a bit above the eye from the blender, not actual makeup. Okay, and that's what works. Okay, now I'm just going to put on my glasses and have a look and see how that is. Yes, that is fine. Now, have you noticed, the makeup doesn't do a lot of coverage, okay? I do the best I can. But then again, I don't want to hide my imperfections because that's who I am. And they are my imperfections. And I'm not ashamed of my imperfections at all. Just going to blend around on those a bit more. Make sure you always blend around your nose so you don't get any makeup clogging around your nose here. And I'll just keep blending and blending and blending until I feel happy with it. Okay, that's that one though. Next, now I'm going to put on some blush. Now, I've had this palette for ages and I love these colours. These are my two favourite. And sometimes I might use that as a highlight on my eyes. But I'm going to use this brush and I like to blend both of them together. So I will blend both of them together. So I get a little bit on the brush. As such. Then I'll just blend it like this on my face. Not a lot, just a little bit dab, 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 dab. I can see what I'm doing here. And I leave my glasses on when I'm doing this because I can see my cheekbones. And that's when I've got high cheekbones. So that's where I put my blender. Sorry. That's where I put my makeup. So just a little bit here. You know, keep it simple. That's the best way to do it. My dog is standing here on the floor and he's looking up at me and he's so cute. So look, see, that's all I do. How's that? How does that looking to you? Looks pretty good to me. Then I'll get rid of that. Next I will get some, this is a compact. This is just some loose, this is natural face powder, so I'll just get my brush. I don't use a lot, and I just do that on the brush. And I just lightly dust it all over my face, like this. Notice how I'm avoiding the eye area? Because once again, I don't want to look like I'm 100 years old. I'm just going to take my makeup off, my glasses off for a sec. I don't want to look like I'm 100 when I'm not 100. I'm proud of my age. I'm proud of how I look. I look after myself. Now, sometimes I might put eye makeup on, sometimes I might not. It just depends on how I feel. Now I'm going to put on some eyebrows. Now, when I was growing up, the in thing was to have thin eyebrows. I know they're not today, that's not the way that people like to do their eyebrows, but that's how we did them. So I'm just going to get a bit of eyebrow colour here. Just a simple brush. I'm trying to see what I'm doing here and it's difficult for me. I'm just going to put a little bit on there. Just to highlight my eyebrows a little bit. And I think that's working for what I can see I'm doing. I think that's made them a little bit darker. There's nothing special, I know. It's just what I like to do. Now, I'll probably muck that up, but I really can't see what I'm doing here. I'm just trying. So, oh, that's a bit better if I use it. And that helps me have some defined eyebrows. Okay, so that's done. I guess you can see my eyebrows. Now I'm going to put some mascara on. This is going to be a test because I cannot see without a mirror what I'm doing here. So this is a test for me. I'm actually just going by feel here before I'm putting my mascara on. I don't use any special type of mascara. I just use whatever I can afford. Same with my makeup. I don't buy expensive brands or anything. Now put a bit on this eye. I used to put mascara on my bottom lashes. I don't anymore because sometimes it will smudge, and I do use waterproof mascara, but because I get oil content coming out of my eyes, it would smudge and I get black eyes, and I didn't like that. But I do sometimes put eyeliner on, and I usually put on a light brown, but I won't do that today because I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so let's just see what that looks like. That doesn't look too bad, I don't think, considering I can't see what I'm really doing. I might put a little bit more on, I might put a little bit more on my eyelashes. But yeah, I think that looks okay. That'll do. I'll just put that on. Now, ladies, you can never go past having a little bit of lip gloss. Now, I make my own out of 3 ingredients. Shea butter, coconut oil, and beeswax. Put a little bit on. It moisturises your lips and keeps them supple. Keeps them soft. Now, I'll put a bit of lipstick on. This isn't my favourite, but I don't mind this colour. Now, ladies, if you use that lipstick, that all day long wearing lipstick, be aware that it will dry your lips out. Be aware that it will dry your lips out. Over time, your lips will not be supple and soft. Okay, so try to avoid using that type of lipstick if you can. So that's me, ready to face the day. I've got my makeup on, I'm ready to face the day. I look good, I feel good, and I kept it simple. That's all you've got to do, ladies, is keep it simple. Okay, I hope this has helped you. As I said, I don't use any special products on my face. I just buy what I can afford at the time. So that's it for me. Okay, ladies, now remember, wash your blenders. Mine need to be washed. I usually wash them about once a week. Anyway, ladies, that's it. As I said, I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of my face. These are my imperfections. I'm not perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I don't want to look perfect, but I want to look nice and presentable. So, ladies, have a great rest of your day, and I hope you enjoyed my makeup tutorial, if you want to call it that. Well, what I just did. Okay, thanks, ladies. Bye.